Alrighty everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a very good ad control / ad clearing build for the Strand Warlock. Now, with the episode coming to an end soon, I'm going to try to make builds that will continue to stay relevant regardless of seasonal mods. That being said, let's go to our build, starting out with our abilities. For our super, we're going to have Needle Storm. Now this is a great one-off super for boss damage or a burst of ad clear. It also gives us a way to generate thread links. Next up you have your Rift, your Jump, and our melee, Arcane Needle. Now it's our only melee, but it's a great melee. It gives us 3 charges, and upon hitting a target it will unravel them, which will spawn little needles that will continue to damage them over time. And for our grenade, we're going to be using Shackle Grenade. Now this is a great grenade that will allow us to stun enemies via Suspend, which is able to stun unstoppable champions. Now let's go over to our aspects, starting out with Mind Spun Invocation. Your grapple, shackle, and threadling grenades have enhanced functionality. Specifically, Shackle, in which consuming your shackle grenade activates Weaver's Trance, where final blows will create a suspending detonation. So this is really good, as now all final blows will create a suspending effect, trapping nearby targets. This is very good for taking control of ads and stunning unstoppable champions via Suspend. And our next aspect is going to be the Wanderer. Tangles you throw attach to targets and detonate into a suspending burst. Destroying a tangle creates a suspending burst after a short delay. Threadling final blows create a tangle. So this is useful as we have a few ways of generating tangles, most notably from defeating suspended targets. But now those tangles will feed into our constant suspending loop, allowing us to better take control of ads in an area. Now let's go over to our fragments, starting out with Thread of Continuity. Suspend, Unravel, and Sever effects applied to targets have increased durations. Now this fragment is good as it applies general duration buffs to all of our Strand debuffs. Next up, we have Thread of Warding. Picking up an Orb of Power grants Woven Mail. Now this giving us Woven Mail is very nice as it applies a source of damage resistance to us, which is very helpful in all realms of gameplay. However, it does take away -10 from our resilience stat. Next up, we have Thread of Wisdom. Defeating suspended targets creates an Orb of Power. So this fragment feeds right into the last one, where now we can have a more reliable source for Orbs of Power. This is also nice as many parts of our build are able to suspend enemies. And rounding it out, we have Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. Very straightforward. This helps with our grenade cooldown rate, as Weaver's Trance is something we're going to want to have constant access to. However, it does take away -10 from our discipline stat. Now let's go over to our exotics, starting out with the Khovostov. Our intrinsic, the right choice, reads, every 7th bullet from this weapon ricochets to nearby targets. Our trait, Eyes Up Guardian, reads, collecting orbs of power strengthens this weapon's next several ricochet shots, providing more damage and more bounces between targets. And our other trait, Shoot to Loot, reads, shooting an orb of power picks it up. Shooting an ammo brick picks it up and automatically reloads all of your equipped weapons from reserves. Alright, so finally using this thing. Now this is a really great workhorse weapon. The ricochet shots are very good at doing some chip damage to targets you're not even focused on. The ricochet shots here are also very good at taking advantage of Weaver's Trance, as those final blows will also suspend targets in that nearby radius. And for our next exotic, we're going to be using Matiodoxia. Don't know if I said that right. Our trait, Stylostyx, reads, targets damaged by Arcane Needle emit a suspending detonation when defeated, and landing multiple Arcane Needles on the same target immediately triggers a larger, more powerful detonation. Defeating suspended targets grants melee energy. Your Arcane Needles are strong against barrier champions. So with this, we now have 3 avenues of suspending targets. And this also allows our melee to both unravel and suspend targets. Along with melee energy being granted from defeating suspended targets, this also gives our melees anti-barrier champion capabilities, which means we can stun all 3 champion types with this build. Now let's go over to our mods, starting out with some seasonal ones. You're going to want Elemental Siphon for tangle generation, Sustained Fire and Targeting Autoloader for damage resistance and damage bonuses for auto rifles, and Shield Crush for melee benefits while Woven Mail is active. As for our armor mods, you're going to want some Kinetic Siphons and Kinetic Surges to improve our Khovostov, and Impact Induction mods to reduce our grenade cooldown on melee hits. So, for our gameplay loop, we're going to open by consuming our grenade to activate Weaver's Trance. Then, just start spraying with Khovostov. Target final blows by any source will make suspending detonations, making it easy for you to continue to spray enemies while ricochet shots chip away at them. You can throw in your arcane needles for further suspending detonations and to apply unravel. Tangles can now be destroyed for even more suspending detonations, and defeating any suspended targets will give you melee energy and will generate orbs of power, which can be shot with Khovostov to supercharge its next few ricochet rounds and apply woven mail to ourselves. So that's the build, but before we get to the showcase, I'm currently floating around the idea of making a Discord server where you can send in your build suggestions or chat about the game and whatnot. So a link to that will be in the description below. Now with all that out of the way, let's go right to the showcase. Alrighty, let's see what this build can do. Alright, at this point it's pretty standard procedure, so let's see how well this goes. Get those ricochet shots, and no surprise, there is our suspensions. Yes. Ah. Exploders. I always say, I hate these exploder rounds because no build works against them. You just have to kill them and deal with them. Oh, no. Alright, let's get rid of them. That's how you do it. Oh. A little close there, huh, buddy? Here we go. Super on them because I don't like them. Put some good damage in on you. Off we go. You know, what's really nice is that when you get into a pinch, if you can shoot an orb of power, it'll give you woven mail, which is really helpful in a lot of scenarios when you get low on health. You can also pair it to give you some health on pickup by having one of those leg mods equipped. But we're slowly making our way through here, because I like suspending stuff and not getting frozen for it. Let's get him. There we go. Suspended. Look at that. Very beautiful over there. Demolitionist. So they gave us the Tormentor and the Demolitionist this time around. That's something. So I'll get these ones. I didn't even go over here when the things got suspended and killed. Oh. I for sure thought I was going to die right there. I had no upward momentum. It was all forward, but somehow I was able to glide across the wall. No ads on me yet, huh? You can do some damage. Oh, you're over there, huh? It's alright. I can deal with you from over here. Alrighty. That was the build. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time. Stay alright.